This is Nia Perry, founder and CEO of Gradient Global Collective, and you're listening to the Gradient Global Collective podcast. Hey everyone, we've got an amazing guest for you today. Adesola Olutola is founder and CEO of Dianu. Dianu is a ready-to-wear clothing line offering quality and trendy African-inspired fashion at affordable prices. This brand stemmed from her love for fashion and a passion for self-expression through unique clothing. Born in Nigeria, Addie moved to the U.S. at age 6 with her family, eventually obtaining both an undergraduate degree in international business and a graduate degree in international marketing. So in other words, this lady is very accomplished, and I am so honored to have her with us. Welcome to the Gradient Global Collective podcast, Addie.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Nia. I really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness, you are so welcome. But before we get into the good stuff, okay, I have to tell everyone the story really quickly. So when I was deciding what to wear for the video shoot for, of course, the Gradient Global Collective video, right, I originally purchased sort of a suit, okay? But when I got it home, I sort of paired it with everything that I was going to wear originally, but it just didn't feel right. You know, you buy something that's like, this is just not right for me right now. And I knew I wanted something fun with a little bit, maybe a peplum or something kind of fun and more flirty. And of course, this was all much to my husband's chagrin because he's like, wait, didn't you just buy a suit, like literally just buy a suit for the video? I'm like, yeah, it's just not right for me, okay? So either that day or like the next day, I came across an ad on Facebook for this brand Dianu. And I'd never really heard of it. So I'm like, okay, well, what is this? So I went to Dianu.com and saw this absolutely beautiful collection of fashion, great price points. And I found exactly the color peplum top I kind of had in my mind. I already envisioned what I wanted, and here it was in front of me on your website.
Wow.
So yeah, it was perfect. So actually, if you visit my
Awesome.
website now, gradingglobalcollective.com, you can actually see the top I'm wearing in the video. That is courtesy of Dianu.com. So thank you so much
Wow.
for that, for fulfilling my need for that, Addie. Thanks again.
No, thank you for shopping with us.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
happy that we could help you out.
Oh, of course, of course. And I have my eye on that brown and pink Zola African print sweatshirt too. So don't be surprised if you see my name pop up on your queue again.
Yeah, that's a great color. Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. So let's dig into the good stuff, okay? You launched Dianu in the beginning of 2014, but you began preparing for it in March of 2013. So talk about the really early days of your business, right? So what were some of the first things that you did to sort of develop your brand?
Yeah, so the idea for creating Dianu started when I was speaking to a fellow Nigerian friend, and she had noticed how popular African print was becoming, and she remarked that she had seen a dress at Macy's with the African print, but she thought that it wasn't very good quality, so her idea was to maybe sell quality African print fabric. And then I was speaking to another friend, and she remarked that, or we both noticed that there wasn't any readily available online stores selling modern African-inspired fashion. So I thought to myself, why not me,
Yeah. Yes.
And at that time, like I was looking for an opportunity to start a business. So I was ready to, go into action. And but I wasn't familiar with the clothing industry. I didn't know anything about fashion
Okay.
as far as developing a clothing line. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So, my background, as you mentioned, is in business, international business and international marketing. So at least I had that going. And then
That's nothing to sneeze at, by the way, Addie. Okay. That's impressive. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Thank you. And so, in order to learn about fashion, how to create a clothing line, I did a lot of research. I did online research. I purchased books about starting a clothing line, and
Mm-hmm.
I just read through it. And from there, I developed a step-by-step process or tasks that I needed to accomplish in order to launch my line.
Okay.
And also during that time period, I created a business plan and kind of set a vision for what I wanted Deanna to be about,
Okay.
and some of the key things that I wanted to make sure were the foundation of my business, such as making sure that customer service is important, making sure that we have quality products, making sure that our customers really kept in the forefront when we're making business decisions.
Sure.
So so those were some of the things I did in the very beginning, just setting the business plan, and I created this whole project management um, spreadsheet, basically doing step by step, like what I needed to do first thing, second thing, third thing, in order to like get to launch date.
Sure. Is that something you developed yourself, or was it one of the templated things that maybe you came across in the resources that you found?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was actually given to me by a coworker.
Oh, okay.
She used it for her on her job,
Nice.
and she gave me the template of how to use this project management spreadsheet in order to figure out or to keep me in line as far as what I needed to do, and kind of set like deadlines for when I needed to accomplish certain things. So that really helped me because, as you know, starting a business, there's so many little steps that you need to take, and it
Right.
can be overwhelming,
Oh, yes.
say the least,
Mm-hmm.
when you have it's just you
Mm-hmm.
and you're just starting out
Mm-hmm.
and you're not really sure where to start at
Right.
sometimes. So it really helps you if you write down the step-by-step things that know you have to do in order to get where you're going. That really helps you out. So keeping a visual of what you need to do helps.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you still use something like that today?
Not as much. I
Yeah.
mean, right now I just use like my daily planner
Sure.
that keeps me organized, and I always jot down ideas or things that I know I have to get to. That
Mm-hmm.
just helps relieve my stress actually,
Of course.
because just the ability to jot it down somewhere that I know I'll be able to look back and say, okay, I need to do this today. That definitely helps me out a lot. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. So, Addie, I have to say that marketing is one of my favorite things in life, okay?
Oh yeah.
I am a marketer. I love to talk
Yeah.
about marketing. I read about it, and I especially love gleaning insight from others in the area, right? You can always learn something, and it's so ever evolving, and especially with
Right.
digital, is everything has just changed, right? So let's talk about
Yeah, absolutely.
positioning specifically, okay? I heard in an interview you wanted to position Dianu as the H&M of African print because you saw an opportunity in the market that you really wanted to fill. So if you could
Yeah.
tell some of our listeners, how important is it to find a niche as an entrepreneur? And but before you answer that, I have to say, for those who may be outside of the United States, H&M is really an affordable fashion retailer that is huge in America. And so I think you're
Worldwide, really.
sure, sure. But there may be
Yeah.
some, markets that are listening that don't have an H&M or not familiar with the brand. So tell us,
Right.
about really finding that niche and why it's important for entrepreneurs to really focus on a niche market.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. It's very important. I mean, it's in order to start a business, it's always a good idea to solve a problem,
Yeah,
to fill a void in the market.
sure.
And that's really what helps you succeed um, faster, I should say. And then obviously being able to find the customers who are most interested in your product. But finding a niche I think, is just very, very important for any entrepreneur because, certain people, they want to start a business and there really isn't much differentiating them from what's already out there. So it
Hmm.
makes it hard for them to acquire customers. So if you're starting a business and you already have a niche in mind you, um, and you're able to really create products that speaks to this niche market,
Hmm.
then you're well on your way to creating a successful business for sure.
Okay, great. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
kind of, sort of similarly, talk about how you differentiate yourself maybe in a competitive market. So maybe, there are other brands who are doing something similar or, that are direct competitors. How did you stand apart and what are some, good sort of tips and words of wisdom you could offer?
Right, absolutely. You definitely want to create a value proposition for your company, for your brand. And in the very beginning, I knew that one of the problems with people looking for this type of fashion was the price point. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you're shopping at other sites, it's typically more expensive.
Sure.
And I wanted to make sure that my prices were more affordable. So that was one way I wanted to distinguish my company.
Mm-hmm.
And the second way was through being able to ship quickly. So
Yeah.
all my stuff is ready made, is ready to wear. So no one has to, place an order and then wait a couple of weeks before they receive the product. We typically ship out in 1 to 2 business days.
Nice.
So that was another way we differentiated ourselves. And also we wanted to make sure our items were great quality and offering great customer service, so that our customers they're well aware of where the product is at any given time, and if they have any questions they can ask us, and we want to respond as quickly as possible. Um, so those were some of the things that I know has helped us succeed so far as being able to distinguish ourselves in the market.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of touched on this a little bit, but we know obviously that entrepreneurship can be very difficult, oftentimes very overwhelming. I can attest to that. It sounds like you can as well. And there are so many hats to wear, so many things
Mhm.
to do, and just seems like not enough time. How do
Yeah.
you deal with entrepreneurial overwhelm?
Yeah, another great question. Yeah, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart.
That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Although we do cry, even though we're tough, I cry.
No,
It's
I do
not an
too.
easy
I do
process.
too. And that actually
I'm not
helps
ashamed of that at all, Addie, by
relieve.
the way.
Right, I know. And there's no shame in that. It actually helps relieve your stress when you do
Yeah.
cry and release it. So definitely cry it out, but just get back up.
Right.
But in the very beginning, it was a one-man show, as oftentimes with entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I was able to overcome or keep my eyes, I was keeping, number one, I was keeping my eyes on the prize and the bigger vision on what I was trying to accomplish.
That's good.
I had such a belief that what I was trying to do was possible.
Right.
And the way I was able to keep myself motivated or on point
Mm-hmm.
was through motivational speakers. Like
Hmm.
from reading, different books and also listening to audios by people such as Les Brown. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you're familiar with him.
Yes, of course. Les Brown is amazing. Do you know he's like in his 80s and he looks 60, if that?
Is he in
I
his
think,
80s
or
already?
maybe he's in his. Sorry, Les Brown, if I'm aging you, but
I think
he may
younger
not be
than that.
listening, but I'm apologizing anyway.
Maybe in
He's
his
definitely.
late 60s or early
You know what?
70s, I think. I
I
don't think
don't.
he's up to 80. He does not
Okay.
look 80.
Well, I know he is definitely older than at first glance, but
Yeah,
he's
he's
such.
definitely been
Hmm.
around for a little bit.
For sure, and really just so authentic.
Yeah, he's such a wonderful person to listen to. He has so much wisdom,
Yeah.
obviously from his own experience. And he's so inspiring
Oh
from
yeah.
his own story.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So like listening to him,
Hmm.
listening to Jim Rohn. I don't know if you're
Hmm.
familiar with Jim Rohn.
I know the name. I'm not familiar with his work though.
Yeah, he's no longer alive, but he's one of my favorite
Okay.
speakers to listen
Okay.
to on YouTube.
Okay.
And Tony Robbins,
Yeah.
yeah, just being able to listen to these certain speakers,
Hmm.
like just coach you. Like I mentally made them like my coach,
Hmm.
when times are hard and you're feeling down. And I just listen to them and it kind of picks me back up. And one of like anytime there's an issue that comes up, like the things I listen to, like just come back up in my mind, and I feel more motivated. Um, I just feel like I can do it. Like I just have I'm just energized.
Hmm.
So I would recommend to any entrepreneur, anyone trying to accomplish anything, just keeping your mental state positive,
Yeah.
keeping your eyes on the prize of like why you started and what you're trying to accomplish, and self-belief that it is possible, that you can do it. And if other people have done it, then you can absolutely do it as well. So these are
Exactly.
some, yeah, so these are some of the things I say to myself on a daily basis that helped get me to where I am today. And from a one-man show till now, we have 6 full-time employees.
Nice. Way to go.
Yeah, and
Congratulations.
thank you, Nia. Yeah, and it all happened within, like I launched in 2014. It's now 2000, beginning 2017. So within 3 years,
Wow.
gotten to this level.
Nice. Oh my. So what
Yeah,
was your first hire? What was your absolute first hire?
my first hire
Like what
was,
position, what role did you need to fill?
well, it was really an assistant. I just needed someone else to carry the load,
Sure.
really. Because
Yeah.
if you're running any type of business, you're wearing, as you mentioned, you're wearing all kinds of hats. You're doing everything.
Mhm.
And, with my business, it's online based,
Mhm.
and it involves a lot more than people might think, because
Mhm.
I'm not simply just making clothing that I'm reselling. I'm actually designing the clothes, and there's a whole process that goes into that, such as buying the fabric
Yeah.
and getting the designs made, and all the materials I have to source myself, and then getting it to the cutting company in Philly and the sewing company to make sure that, and then making sure the garments are done correctly. um, so all those things I was managing, also customer service, responding to emails, and also I was the one doing marketing, creating ads, creating email campaigns,
Mhm.
um, also picking and packing orders. And so I just need someone to carry the load as far as the everyday activities such as like packing orders. And for packing, we iron and then pack it and create the shipping labels, all those things.
Right.
So my first hire kind of helped me carry the load as far as the behind the scenes of prepping orders and getting them out, and also customer service as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And if I may ask, was that first hire something that you had to make major sacrifice in their salary? Because, oftentimes when you're early on, you may not have get your own salary, right? So you may
Yeah.
not you may go forego that for quite a bit of time. Was that a sacrifice that you made to bring in somebody that could scale the business a little bit quicker?
Um, it wasn't so much because my company, I had managed it in such a way that I could afford to bring someone on at that time,
Nice.
actually.
Good.
Um, so it wasn't so much as a sacrifice, it was a much needed
Mm. Investment.
investment,
Sure.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very, very good. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So you mentioned ads, right? And I know that you utilized Facebook ads really to grow your business and to drive website traffic. Can
Yeah.
you give us just some tips on how you maximize Facebook for visibility? And because I mentioned that, before that I found your brand on Facebook. So
Right.
obviously it was effective advertising for you. Why
Mhm.
that particular platform, and just some great tips that you'll be happy to share with us if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, Facebook has, over a billion
Hmm.
users, and people visit it on a daily basis. So it only makes sense to advertise on that platform.
Yeah.
And the real goal should be to figure out how to make sure your ads are being shown to the right audience.
Hmm.
So in 2000, the end of 2014, I took this online course about Facebook ads, creating effective Facebook ads. And ironically, I saw the ad for that course on Facebook.
Nice. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was obviously doing a great job,
Yeah.
the lady who developed this course. And after I took that course, not everything was, I was able to utilize everything because it wasn't really tailored to maybe e-commerce, but I
Sure.
was able to glean enough to figure out how to create effective ads that
Right.
targeted, for instance, my people who visited my website. And then you can also upload your email list to Facebook and you can target those people. And then, even more powerful, you can target people similar to them by
Mm-hmm.
creating the lookalike audiences. And also, obviously, people who like your page and then people similar to those people as well.
Sure.
So that's really what took my business to the next level, being able to show my ads to the right audience. Yeah,
That's awesome. Is it Amy Porterfield, by the way? Just curious.
it is.
It
It
is.
is.
Oh, she's got
Yeah.
great courses in general, and if someone's out there listening, she's got awesome courses on Facebook, on webinars. I don't know if you've seen that one. She's got great stuff out there in the marketplace for sure,
Yeah.
and she's got a great personal story as well. I'd love to hear her personal story.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying, like, her stuff is more tailored to like people who are online coaches and things
Yeah,
like that.
sure,
And it wasn't really as tailored to like e-commerce, what I was doing. So I just had to like take what I wanted, what I needed out of her course,
of course.
which was obviously helpful enough.
Right. No, of course,
By the
absolutely.
Yeah, by the time it seemed like a sacrifice to how much I paid for the course,
Okay.
but it also tells you that, as a business owner, you have to be willing to invest
Mm-hmm.
in different courses or
Mm-hmm.
whatever you need to invest in order to get where you're going. Because if you don't invest, you won't get very far.
That is
Yeah,
so very true. That's one of the things that I learned early on in entrepreneurship as well. If someone has already done it, right? Why go through the struggle? Why try to figure it out on your own when the
yeah,
resources are there? You make the
yep,
financial sacrifice up front so that you can then gain
yeah,
from it on the back end. It just makes sense, and
right,
you don't that way you don't have to sort of trip your way through and make mistakes when you can make a short an investment up front and really reap those benefits earlier on.
yeah. And the beautiful thing is, in this day and age, there's so much information available to us online
Oh
that
my goodness. Right.
you can figure out a lot of things by, YouTube or just online research. And reading books is very important if you're trying to, depend on the industry you're in. But yeah, I mean, people have written books about things that you're trying to do. So read those books. Like, if you don't read it, then you never learn. So
Exactly right.
I make it a point to also to mentally develop myself by reading. Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. That's a great tip. Thank you for that. So you have, as I mentioned early on, you've earned two internationally centric degrees, right? One in business, one in marketing. What do you think
Mhm.
that you've gleaned most from your education, and like what is the biggest impact you believe it's played in your business?
Right. Um, Definitely. I mean, business has helped me create a good foundation, and which allowed me to be profitable my first year in business, actually.
Nice.
And um, so my degrees have definitely helped because I know oftentimes with creatives, they launch a clothing line and they're not as solid on the financial part. So
Right.
that's why it doesn't launch as successfully. So just knowing your basics on finances can really help you in business, obviously. But as far as international um, marketing, I knew right off the bat that in order to create a successful business, your marketing has to be on point. Like, that's one of the, if not the most important part of your business, because you can create a great product and you can have great services, but if no one knows about it, then there's really no point.
Right.
And a great example is McDonald's, I mean, do they make the best burger? Do they make the best, fast food? No, but they are everywhere. Their marketing is on point, so everyone knows about them, and they were able to be successful as a result. So marketing is a key point, and I think that's just what I took away from that being my background. I just understood the importance of targeting your market and making sure that the most the most interested buyers were shown your product.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then in this day and age of technology with Facebook ads and digital marketing,
Yeah.
we're really blessed because it's so much more cheaper and affordable to create ads and things because if it was done traditionally, going back to like billboards or newspaper or magazine ads, like those aren't as effective in this day and age, and they're more expensive. So we really need to capitalize on the blessings we have in this day and age where technology makes doing business so much easier and affordable.
I
Yeah,
agree. Absolutely. Well, I think it is now time. Are you ready, Addie? It's now time for
sure.
our rapid fire round of questioning, okay?
O-
We want to
Okay.
get beyond just the business of it all. You've done an amazing job with growing Dianu. I am super impressed with
Well, thank
how
you.
quickly you've really grown your business. I mean, it really is enviable, and I think that people wish that they could grow their businesses to the level that you have it already at this point. And congratulations. And of course, we wish you
Oh,
continued
thank you so
success.
much, Nia.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. But we want to get beyond the business, okay?
Okay.
We want to find out the most random facts about you.
Okay.
And if that's okay, if that's okay, we may proceed.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. So give me the first things that come to your mind. All right.
Uh-huh.
And you have 30 seconds on my imaginary clock. Okay. Just a few that I won't inundate you. Okay. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. If you were an emoji, which one would you be and why?
I would be the laughing, crying one because I
Okay.
love to laugh. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Nice. Is there something in particular that makes you laugh, cry like that?
um,
Or someone maybe?
well, I guess maybe my boyfriend.
Okay. Are you laughing
Yeah.
at him or with him?
Both,
Right,
both.
exactly. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me your favorite quote or movie line. That might be a
Oh,
stumper.
oh,
Yeah, I know that's a tough one.
oh.
So think about a Les Brown quote or maybe or one of the things that kind of helped you get through those tough times.
One of my favorite Les Brown quotes is, oh, I have two. One is, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. And he says that's an African proverb, actually.
Say that one
But
more time.
if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I love that quote because oftentimes we are our biggest enemy,
Sure.
Like
Right.
you're the one stopping yourself from doing great things and just reminding yourself that you have the ability to stop, your mind from thinking all these negative things that don't help you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
No, no, no. Please. Do you have another one?
The second quote is, no one's opinion of you, something about your opinion. Let no one's opinion of you become your reality,
Mm.
or something like that. I know I'm not saying exactly right, but basically, someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
so true. That's really
yeah.
good.
Because
Awesome.
oftentimes we are thinking about, uh, oh, this person thinks I'm this way or that way, but that doesn't have to shape who you are. Like
Hmm.
you have the ability to shape who you are.
Right.
So it's liberating. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's really good, especially as an entrepreneur. You deal with a lot of people who don't understand. Maybe they don't understand your concept, and maybe they don't
Yeah,
have, entrepreneurial inclinations. And,
right.
there's a lot of judgment that can come along with entrepreneurship for sure.
Definitely.
So, in 3 words, describe
Mm-hmm.
the color yellow to someone who is blind.
Ah, okay.
Just look around your studio. I'm sure there's something yellow in the bunch.
Sunlight,
Okay.
um, daisy.
Okay. But if I'm blind, can I see a daisy?
You cannot see a daisy, and you can see a sunlight.
Stumper.
That's a great point.
Okay, I'll let you think about that one, okay? Okay, here's an easier one. Tell me one thing you can't leave home without.
My phone.
Oh, yeah. I think that probably would go for a lot of people.
A lot of people,
Yeah,
right?
definitely, definitely. We're in a digital age for sure. Well, that was great.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for playing along there.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
so, this was great. Tell people how they can really get a hold of you and where we can find more information about Dianu.
Sure. You can definitely check out my website at www.diyanu.com, and
Okay.
that's DIYANU.com.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, you can email us at info@diyanu.com, or you can also call us up. Um, and I'm ashamed to say I don't have the number
That's all
right
right.
in
We're,
front of
the
me.
the website has all the information that they need, right? And if they can't
Yes.
find it on the website, you can email or what are your social handles?
And then you can find us on Instagram under Dianu,
Okay.
and we're also on Facebook under Dianu as well. Or you may have to type in Dianu Fashion
Okay.
on Facebook. And yeah, those are the two main social media platforms we are on.
Was that strategic for you, or you just found that you maximized really your audience on those 2 platforms?
Uh, as in why only those two platforms,
Yes.
or well, they were the best ways to really reach our target audience.
Hmm.
And so yeah, and then yeah, there for us it was the best way to reach our target audience.
Okay, great. Well, we'll
Yeah.
definitely add all those details to the show notes for this particular show. And Addie, I just want to extend my deepest gratitude for you for spending, a bit of your valuable time with me and the Gradient Global Collective podcast listeners. You truly do exemplify the innate brilliance and moxie of Black women entrepreneurs globally, and I am honored to have gotten to know you just a little bit.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me and contacting us. I really appreciate it. And it was my pleasure sharing a little bit of my background and story, and hopefully it's helpful to someone out there.
Oh, absolutely. I think the way that you approached your business very strategically, I think there's a lot of just information to glean from that because again, you mentioned you were profitable the first year, you were able to grow your team to 6 people, and it's I can attribute that probably to your thoughtfulness early on. And your approach to
Yeah,
really starting a business that you wanted to succeed from the beginning. So good for you.
right.
Kudos.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Well, this has
Appreciate
been great. Again, thanks again. And we will be in touch very soon. Okay?
it. All right, sounds good.
Thank you for listening to the Gradient Global Collective podcast. Follow us and talk to us on Instagram at Gradient Global.